everyone. Welcome to another episode of Pivot and Prosper. I'm your host, Joe Nahay from LFG Business Group. Today, I have the great joy of introducing Melinda Colon from Orlando, Florida. She's a business coach and consultant for other business owners who are looking to scale and grow their business. And we've got a lot in common here. And before I pressed record, there was a good bit of back and forth of the things we have in common with what we do with our clients, and I'm really excited to learn more about your approach to this with the strategy. So first off, more than anything, Melinda, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me here today.
It's a pleasure, Joe. I'm so excited to share and support your community.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Let's get things kicked off here. Tell me about your current role and what problem your business solves, and ultimately what you've created as the solution.
So I'm a coach and consultant. So I help other business owners, coaches, and consultants scale past six figures in their business without complicated tech or no sales team or bloated overhead. And I do it so that you're basically freeing yourself up to impact more lives and really just use your purpose to connect with people and build community. So my consulting business on the back end of my coaching helps those coaches and consultants the done for you stuff, right? Like the things that they're like, I'm trying to stay in imagination and creativity as long as possible. How do I do this while I don't have a team and it takes time to hire, right? We all know how that feels,
Oh, yeah.
right? It takes time to hire the right person. And so my consulting business will work with people and provide this white glove experience so that they're not worrying about that thing. They can just focus on staying at the executive leadership level while those activities are being handled for them.
I love it. Well said. Well said. And I couldn't agree more too. I think there's so much strategy involved as well. And even the clients I work with, sounds like you too, where they've got such great ideas, right? We're in a
Yeah.
world now where people need mentors, they need coaches, they need executive leadership, and many times a mindset shift too, right? To help them. We're in a digital age now where you don't have to go to in person to these classes, and that knowledge is so valuable out there. There's experience which can't be overridden, right? Experience is I can't buy 30 years experience overnight, right? So to
Yeah.
get that unique value to many folks out there and what could potentially be missing so that more people can understand it is gold. So
Yeah.
I truly appreciate all that you do because it aligns exactly with a lot of things I do. Tell
Yeah.
me about the biggest surprise while operating as a business owner in the last 6 months. And if there's anything that popped up, positive, negative, and how you would prepare for that if something were to happen in the next time this happens, let's say.
Yeah. In the last 6 months here in the United States, wherever you're watching, the last 6 months have been definitely challenging for business owners, entrepreneurs, anyone that has anything to do with, business, because of the recession or the lack thereof, or whatever you want to call it. And so that's put a lot of fear in business owners or business leaders. And what that fear really is a lack of confidence. And at the end of the day, a lack of understanding what marketing and business actually do. Right. So you can't have a business without marketing. You can't just live and just focus on serving the existing clients with like haphazard customer service without understanding what their challenges are in the marketplace and what are they coming up against every single day. That's just not a business, right? That's just a hobby that you make money off of. But inevitably, if you don't focus your money and time and effort on marketing, it's going to be the demise of your business. And so we've seen that a lot with our clients where they're just like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to spend money on marketing. I don't know how to spend money. What do I do? If I need to, a lot of people are just involuntary and voluntary leaving their corporate position. And that's obviously impacting the workplace and, business is as a whole. And it's like, so what do you do in that? What do you do? What do I do, Melinda? And that's obviously impacted my business. It's really changed and trained me to be more focused on marketing in my businesses, especially when you're afraid. there's this analogy that I utilize called the lighthouse. If I can be the lighthouse opposed to a boat in the ocean with them, I'm going to be more valuable to them, and I'm going to provide them more value. Because it's not about like, oh, we're going through this together. No, I want to be that person, that brand that's really guiding them to safety so that they can get out of the situation as quickly as possible. So just staying in front of your business, your clients, and really providing them value is the way of the game. But this is something that I'm still learning what that means, understanding what value is to your audience, right?
Absolutely. Well said too. I like that the lighthouse there. Yeah, it's like the North Star, the direction that it's let me help guide you to where we need to go as opposed to me being in the boat in every single step. It's the I follow you completely there. Now, with that, this kind of had me circling a couple questions in my head here too. What um what would you say is the biggest mistake or miss that a lot of these coaches, consultants, mentors, et cetera, have, right? They've gotten traction, they have great value, but they're not scaling and they're stuck, they plateau. What do you think is has been the biggest miss that the
Identity.
preventing? Yeah.
100%. It's identity. What we were talking about before recording is most business owners do things in the wrong order. They got excited about the logo. They got excited about selling and servicing, but they never thought about the order of things, right? No, I am not saying that you need a business plan with 500 pages, right? I'm not saying that, but you at least need to know who you are and the value that you deliver and the big cast of vision that's bigger than you. You need to know what that is. And once you do that, then you can create offers and you can create different services that are in demand for what you offer and in a way that's evolving with your marketplace. And if you think that you're selling to everybody, I mean, why? Why do
Yep.
you
Yep.
like why? So like I think the people that say that, I really do believe that people are afraid when they say that. They're like, I just need to sell to everyone, whoever will buy. And when it comes from a fear place, right? Cognitively, right? Person human behavior, we actually put out this energy that we're not someone that you can approach. We're unapproachable when we're in fear. People stay away from it because they're like, I'm not sure what you are. You seem confused, so I will come back. And there are people that are rooting for you, that are cheering you on. But you just need to get crystal clear on what you do and how you offer value to someone else, not your definition of value, their definition of value.
Yes.
And that
Yes.
is the difference. That's the difference.
I completely follow you there. I mean, the amount of coaches and consultants I've worked with where, yes, I know they offer great value after speaking with them, but when I go to their site or when I see the lack of marketing or just any kind of content that they post up, I don't know what kind of person they are, their identity, right? Truly what they have to offer. And after I speak with them too, it's, well, what do you do to offer them? Well, I do all kinds of stuff. I know you do. Let's narrow it down. Let's narrow it down. What is the problem that people are having? How have you solved this problem? Now that
Mhm.
you're in a pool of hundreds and thousands of people that that do solve this problem, what makes you unique? Why would someone want to come to you?
Yeah.
What is experience level? We could go on and on and on and on about that, right? But it's defining, okay, I understand what they're going to do, how they're going to help me, and then ultimately they build out their offer structure, which is the identity. That is the correct word. And I couldn't agree more because I get it. A lot of these coaches, consultants, they can help in hundreds of areas, right?
Mhm.
But let's focus on what is the key thing that you are the subject matter expert in that's going to blow everyone else away due to your
Yeah.
experience and expertise, right? Great. I love it. I couldn't agree more. Very, very wise words there.
I
What do you
have to
think?
share with you further and just say this for your audience and for
Yeah.
you specifically is I love speaking to other business owners like who are of abundance, right? Like just the words that you're using in your it's just everything. I can tell that you just think you're on a higher level. And because that you just like success is just naturally will come towards you. So I just wanted to let people know that that's what it looks like when you can just really put out a vision, a goal, an identity out into the marketplace, and then it's received. And people are just naturally just attracted to you. They just, you don't have to go digging to find clients, they just come towards you.
That's
So I
right.
just wanted to say that just before we move on.
Excellent. I agree. I 100% agree. You're right. Well, once that component comes out there, they just naturally start coming to you, and it's like, how? Then it's like, how is this? What I told you, this is this is how it works. How do you think
You know,
technology is reshaping the way we understand and reach our audience today compared to 5 years ago?
it's just faster. I'm not afraid of AI. I'm not afraid of it at all. Because at the end of the day, I was created to create, right? And AI was created to create for me. It cannot do anything without me as a part of the equation. So I look at it as a part of, there's a lot of opportunities that I can utilize in order for my business to go even faster and get to where I want to go with it, which is really impacting more lives in a bigger and better way. It's like AI is the biggest thing that's on everybody's mind right now. But there are other technologies that we're really not even talking about. Like, there's like heat mapping on websites, right? That's been around forever. That's a huge technology that is impacting, human behavior, understanding human behavior. So there's layers of technology. I think this is really valuable. And I think with COVID, what happens when everything got accelerated because we were forced to pay attention. And when we started paying attention to things, then, obviously innovation was created. I just read an article the other day about open AI, and they make like MRR is like 238 million. And I'm like, okay, okay. When someone says, "Oh, I have competition," I'm like, okay, guys, like you can create anything you truly desire. There is no limits to anything.
100% agreed. Absolutely. I think you're right. The level of now with all social media roles and how we can with all these free tools, right? It doesn't cost anything to make a post on LinkedIn and to grow your following on Instagram or to start making YouTube content, right? There's, geez, what does Willy Wonka say, right? Use your pure
Yeah.
imagination, right? You can anything happen. I'm interested to know your thoughts on and what you help guide coaches, consultants, et cetera, grow as far as social media content, right? I'm a big advocate for when I meet folks and they say, I've got tons of value, but I'm not getting those few components out. And man, people come to me. This could be a wealth advisor, for example,
Mm.
and he'd say,
Okay.
so when people come to me and I start talking to them and they don't understand how to find their 401k or they don't understand how to use the funding for this, and I coach them through these couple steps, and they're like, wow, this is great. And I'm like, why haven't you recorded that? Why haven't you recorded? What are people searching on Google? How do I achieve this? Maybe what if you made a video that said 5 ways where you could accelerate your wealth in 2024 without this pain point? 6 things you didn't know about this. 4 ways you could choose this. 3 minute long video, 5 minute long video. And now what are you doing with that? Breaking down those walls of no like trust. So people go like, yeah, it's that guy, not that snake oil guy on the billboard, but this guy who I got value from. Just keep pushing out value. Don't do the hard selling, push out value. Like, no, 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 it's too much value. No, 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 it's not enough. You got to keep pumping it out. What are your thoughts on that?
There's fear behind that. It goes back to the identity. There's fear behind if I share too much on social media, then they won't buy from me because they get it all for free. And for those people, I just said to them when I hear that, what do you offer that you think can be, packaged in a 30-second reel? Like, what is the thing that you offer? Because at the end of the day, the lowest level of that client journey is awareness. And awareness is about providing them quick wins, right? So if you're not providing them quick wins at where they are before they even get to consideration and discovery of conversion, I mean, why would they want to convert? You're not telling them anything that they care about. It's kind of like, when you meet somebody at a party and, you're having a conversation and, they're like, hey, has anybody gone to that, seeing the game the other day? And you talk about the game, right? And then after you have a conversation, they go, so what's your name? Where are you from? Where do you work? Right? Like
Mhm, mhm.
that's when you actually step into consideration. It is human behavior. So we have to, experts don't realize they're experts, right? They don't know that they're expert. And so when you're an expert, like if you're an Albert Einstein of financial advisory, then you think like, well, I don't understand. I'm frustrated with my clients, customers, because they don't understand blank. Well, if they don't understand, then you need to educate them to be good clients. That's your job at awareness is how can I help you be a good customer so you can get the end result you truly desire that I can deliver. And so that's what social media is I mean, man, I can go down the rabbit hole about templates. I mean, the other
Yeah.
day I had a a coaching client. She says, well, I bought all these templates for my emails campaigns and da da da. And I was like, what are you gonna do with that? Well, I'm gonna, just have my VA create them and just like copy and paste them, put it right in there. And I said, your subscription, it will have unsubscribed. Well, you've never seen them before. I don't need to see them. I already know that they're not going to
Yep,
work with you because they're not speaking to who you are as a person that's solving a problem for your audience.
yep.
And so it's the same thing with social media. It's like what you put out there is helping that person, right? Depending on what type of brand you want to have, whether it's lifestyle brand, business brand, whatever. But whatever you put out there is helping people, giving them those quick wins, like thinking about the symptoms to the bigger problem that arises, right? I see like the medical industry does this really well. What happens like if you have a sore throat and a headache and a stomach ache, you go straight to Google and put all your symptoms in, and then they tell you everything that scares the heck out of you. And then you decide, well, should I go to the ER or should I go to a magnetic clinic or should I just wait to make a doctor's appointment? That's consideration. So that means that awareness is what are the things that they need to know before they make a decision where they're not even aware they have a problem and the urgency of the problem. That's what you're creating in social media. And so it makes it easier when you know your audience. Another trick, and this is a tip,
Mhm.
and I'm sure you do it, like because I see your content is fire, is to actually just write out all the questions that they have during the discovery and make content based on those questions. That's like a quick tip,
It's
right?
that simple. It's that simple, right? You're answering the comment. What are so you're right. So many of these folks out there, I need to make content around this. This is what I think they need to hear. But what are they actually searching that they want to know? Tell them what they want to know, not what you think they need to hear.
Yes.
Yeah. What are people
Yeah.
searching? There's SERP data out there that geez, like you could dial in for days and days and days where it's like that's just a common way to pull people in, which
Yes.
I agree 100%. That is, I say the same thing.
Yeah. And then throw rocks at your competitors. It's like
Yeah.
when I hear someone say, I can't charge more than $30 an hour as a coach or consultant in your corporate to start a business, I cringe because that's a lie, right? There's
Yeah.
experience that you curated the last 20 years of your career, and it's not all for naught. So I cringe and then I talk about it. I'm like, you know what? Some coaches, like I talk about it, and that helps people understand there's another way. And so that's part of that same content is what's the other way. So just like having that conversation, opposed to having a one-way message, have a conversation with somebody that you're targeting to go through your funnel, whatever, to create, to follow you, whatever that might be, whatever conversion that you want.
Yeah. Agreed. Okay. Couldn't agree more with that. We're on the same
We're
page, same
like,
paragraph, same line.
yeah.
How about this? Think about a critical decision you've made that was a turning point for your business. If you had chosen differently, where do you think you and your business would be today?
If I didn't hire a coach, uh, I would be like a lot of my friends who started their business and they haven't even passed 6 figures, 8 years. Like I hit 6 figures the first year of my business. So if I didn't hire a coach, if I didn't invest in myself, I know people hear that. Oh, what? But truly, it is a game changer. It's because the thing that's wrong is mindset,
Hmm.
right? Like once we get that figured out, we can quantum leap into any pond that we'd like, right? And there's so much opportunity around us. It's just, it's endless. It's really endless. So yeah, I mean, I've been passionate about that because things that really has stopped a lot of people, and it has stopped me. A lot of times when my coach would say, hire someone to do that, delegate. And God, man, I fought her. I was like, no, I can't afford to do that. No, I can't do that. Like, it's just me. I'm only making a couple six figure, like trying to
Yeah.
find any excuse to not do the thing the expert is telling me to do. And so I finally decided to listen to her after pretty much she did like every coaching call. She's like, did you do it yet? Did you do it yet? Did you yet?
Hmm.
And interviewing them, I mean, the whole thing, I'd find other excuses. There's no one that can do this. It's too complicated. I can't afford this, da, 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 all these things. But literally, it was exactly what I needed to do in order to scale. And I didn't understand it. I'm like, how do I, what is money flow? Like you just kind of put it out there in order to receive it. It's kind of like walking into your house and you have groceries in your hand. You can't
Hmm.
take anything else on unless you put something down.
Yeah,
So
that's right. Great
it's
analogy.
really amazing. Yeah. Thanks.
Storytelling individual, and when I can relate to something else in life that's like, oh, aha, right? It's I get it, as opposed to like, those that's the conversion like doing the huh to the aha, which well said too. I mean, as I it's funny. I talk about this with a lot of other folks too. My worst client is me. Right. And there's in
Nothing.
so many areas where I'm like, I can figure this out. I got this. I got this. I got this. I'm like, Joe, the advice that you give to so many of your clients that you work with of you need to focus on, hey, you are really good at X. You
Hmm.
need help with Y, Z, et cetera, et cetera. Get those people to help you with those things. And how many times have I gone in there and tried to be like, I can figure this out. I can figure this out. Like, come on, man,
Yeah.
take your own advice.
Well,
Happens all the time.
yeah. It's like, so what I believe, Joe, is if we stay in imagination long enough, we'll make millions. Imagination at that phase is unlocking millions of dollars, millions of people, whatever. It is the thing. As soon as we start to lower ourselves into productive activities, then we're further away from imagination and creation. But a lot of people struggle with this like war between imagination and then money issues and money problems and da da da, and you're going back and forth. Like, what do I do? Well, just relinquish the money problems because your imagination will solve them. Your imagination will solve where it lies. Your imagination will solve what's out. Our brains are so powerful and we only use 10% of it. Like,
Yeah,
it's just, yeah,
totally agreed.
so
Totally
crazy.
agreed.
Yeah.
I think with the next question here, talking about the predictions of the future in this industry and how to stay ahead of the curve, right? I think that's a question I want to ask you. And as I kind of think about it as well, I'm like, we we're in a world now where there's so many different tools out there to push a coaching course, a community, a consulting for them as well too. One Zoom calls. I mean, where was this 10, 20 years ago? This is like all new. And we're talking about Alex Hormozy too. He did a recent study. He's now owner in school that talks about the amount of people going to in-person education has significantly decreased, while it's 400% year over year for online education. It's going up. So what does that say? It says that there's so many more opportunities and so many more people of great education and knowledge that can share that connective growth measure, right, through a digital phase. So I'll go back to the question here. What would you say are some predictions for the future, and how do you stay ahead of the curve?
So the first part, I believe that we are on the brink of new innovation. Uh, with, I mean, billions of dollars are going into the information, courses creation, online learning, etc., communities. And I believe that something big is going to come out of that. And I think it's going to be another innovation like AI. I think it's going to be bigger than that. And so, how do we stay above that? How do we stay ahead of that? Right? I think how we stay ahead of that is to build community. I think we keep it simple because we're all human beings. no one could create on their own, truly, right? We all need resources and tools and people to get things done. I think we create community. That's how I'm staying ahead of the change. Is if Joe and I work together to help more people make bigger impact in their world, then I'm staying ahead of the challenges. I am staying in the market and seeing what are the issues so that I can help solve that or find someone who does solve that and bring it to those community. So I really do believe it's about community connectedness, right? It's like what we used to say is like seven degrees of Kevin Bacon, right? 7 degrees of like separation from one
Yep,
person.
yep, yep, yep.
And so like everything that we need is right within our reach, which inevitably says that we're not stopping, right? The errors of change continue to speed up, right? We've had manufacturing that was for 20, 30 years, and then, it just kind of speeds up. Now we're in 2 years, decades, where it used to take so much longer to get information done and out to the marketplace, and now it's getting done in seconds. What I do see that is there's going to be even more innovation. And what that means is that we have more opportunity to create bigger things. And that sometimes could be scary, right? Like,
Mhm.
what could be bigger than artificial intelligence? I mean, nobody knew what artificial intelligence was 30 years ago, right?
That's
Like
right, right.
nobody knew like what a cell phone was in the 70s, right? Like it's just like, but we created it anyway. So we'll be fine. But we need to build community. We need to continue to build community and really rely on each other and support each other and partner with each other so that we can really ride the tide together.
I couldn't agree more. I think that you're right. The opportunity out there that's to come to connect the right people at the right place at the right time, and for them to see that value is it's growing more and more and more and more, right? And even too, that got me thinking about what you're saying. It's the common thought process in the psychology of money. The book where they talk about that is opposed to looking at making certain revenue streams. How many more people can I help, and to share the value of getting their word out? And when that continues to grow, and when that notion of this is what they're all about, you and I, it's not about the dollars. It's about, I want to help other executive folks share their education with more people that need that value. And when that continues to spread, the money just comes.
Yeah.
Like, you're not even looking at the dollar signs, it just comes because people, they feel that vibe, that aura, if you will, of assistance and care, right? Authenticity as a whole, which
100%.
heck, we're growing into a great time now where there's going to be more and more of it, and I just want my brain to be able to soak up as much as possible. Education. One of the last questions I have here, actually, this is the last question here, but arguably my favorite one, the one you chose here. Let's paint a picture. So let's say you're homeless. I hope that never happens, but let's just say you're
Oh,
homeless, right? You're going to be rewarded with a brand new home, all very hypothetical, right? If you can collect $100 in the next 2 hours of time, and the only tools you have, a cardboard box and a black marker. What are you writing on your sign?
I'm advertising through a local business owner who will pay me $100 for every lead that I send.
Yeah, there you go. Love it. I love it. It's the psychology conversion process, right? Of what I see so many people out there. I'm like, man, if you just change your sign to this, I'd be happy to give you something. But it's a constant thing I'm thinking of and always wondering. So I'm glad that makes perfect sense, right? For marketers and for folks that have that psychology, it makes perfect sense.
Let me help someone else get to where they want to go and they will help. It's the law of reciprocity.
That's right. Yeah, what can I do to help you? Yes, absolutely. Excellent. Well, I think I well, I don't think, I definitely know that our conversation was of, I learned something, and what
Yeah.
I enjoy most about these conversations back and forth are, yes, I get to learn about you. We get to talk together, some great icebreakers, right? But if I could learn and take a piece of information you said, even if it's just one sentence out of our entire conversation that follows me for the rest of my life in a beneficial manner, I win. It's my
Mm,
win. And if I can do that over and over and over again, I, I feel like a champion, right? I'm speaking
mm.
with highly educated individuals where I'm taking up one, two, five, six pieces of content that they've told me that have been influential for my life. And I think that you've given some great bits and pieces throughout this conversation. So I thank you again for all that you've said, discussed above, and I look forward to sharing more about you to others as well.
Absolutely. This is great. Love this.
Thank you.
Thank you so
So,
much, Joe.
your website, how can people find out more about you and connect with you with your call to action?
I'll just go to melindacologne.com, and I have tons of free stuff, a lot of opportunities for you to learn more and just continue your journey as an entrepreneur and business.
Excellent. Well, Melinda, again, thank you so much for your time. I will link that information below in the description, more about Melinda, and of course, how to connect with her, not only on our website, but also on LinkedIn. So, Melinda, again, thank you so much for your time. I truly appreciate it. And I hope you and everyone listening have a great rest of your day.
You too.